Well, happy Monday, everybody. Fix this a little bit better here. There we go. I think that works better now. See if I can get it up a little bit higher. We don't want to cut off the top of the page. So I think that does it pretty well. Turn on this overhead light. See if that helps any. If it's too bright, I kind of put the overhead light on as high as it'll go. So maybe I got it up too high. Crunch it down just a little bit because we don't want too much glare on the cards. You won't be able to see them. But we are now moving on to June the 16th in the 1987 calendar. Game number 430 overall, and it's the Orioles and the Yankees started a 3-game series at Yankee Stadium here on this June the 16th, 1987. Yankee Stadium, ballpark effects, 7s for singles, left and right, home runs 9 for left and 8 for right. Starting pitchers for today's game, 2 right-handers, Ken Dixon of the Orioles and Charles Hudson of the Yankees. And we'll look at some of their peripherals as well. Charles Hudson is a wild pitch rating of 6, a balk of 0. Ken Dixon, a wild pitch of 10, a balk of 4. Passball rating pretty high for Mark Salas. He's a 14, the catcher. And Terry Kennedy's just a 2. For the hold, both of them have net zeros. So it'll be no effect on holding base runners. They're going to have a 0 factor. So keep that in mind when we're trying to steal bases. Looking at the numbers for Charlie Hudson. Let's see, is that too bright? I think that'll be all right. I don't think that's, let me see, it might be a little bit too bright. I'm trying to knock it down one more notch. That might make it better. Let's see here. Is that too bright, or is that still might be too bright? Let's take it down one more notch. We don't want to have the glare and stuff. So I think that comes along pretty clear there. I think that's the best lighting I'm going to get. So we go to our Strat computer. Get the numbers on Hudson on the real season. Well, we can do that on the card too. The real season, he was 11-7 with a 3.61 ERA. On the replay, he's 5-3 with a 3.43 ERA. So not too far off of that. 66 innings pitched, 46 hits, 27 walks, 51 strikeouts. He has spent time both as a starter and a reliever. But of course, now he's in the starting rotation. And Alan Wiggins will lead things off for the Orioles. Orioles come to this game 24-39. Yankees have been fading as of late. They are 36-27, and they're still feeling the effects of not having Ricky Henderson or Don Mattingly on their roster. They're both injured. They won't come back for about another week. I think it's the 24th or so that they start coming back. So it's going to be a while. So the Yankees trying to tread water, but so far they're not treading the water too well. So before and of course we have our dice, standard dice. And before the first pitch, of course, as has been tradition here for a while, we have the ceremonial first sip. And that is some good coffee, as someone once said. All right, Wiggins on the replay hitting 176, a homer and 9 driven in. He hit 232 real world, and we're underway from Yankee Stadium. 310, and that's going to be a regular single. Boy, it's been anti-clutch all day long here, but we're starting the game out, so that's just a single for Wiggins, and he's going to be looking to get a lead to try to steal a base because that's what he does. That's kind of his biggest strength is running. He needs a 4, 5, 6, or a 12 to get the lead. 4, 5, 6, or 12. And he gets a 6, he's going to go. He's an 18, being held as a 16, and a 0 effect. So 1-16. Now, Salas's T rating is only a 2, so not much of a chance to throw down there and make an error. So 1-16. And he's in there, but it is a 2, so it's a chance of a throwing error, but it's only a T2 for Salas. So no throwing error, but it will be a stolen base for Alan Wiggins. So let's get the stolen base totals on Wiggins, both on the real season and on the replay. We'll see how he's doing. Wiggins, in real world, stole 20 bases, got caught 7 times. This will be stolen base number 12 on the replay, has been caught once. So he's had a pretty good success ratio, I would say. So the 12th steal of the season for Alan Wiggins. He's on second with 1 out for Jim Dwyer. right fielder Jim Dwyer is hitting .292 on the replay. 6 homers, 14 driven in. He at .274 real world. First havoc roll of the game, nothing happening. And here's Dwyer. 5-6, and that's trouble for Hudson. 1 to 11 is a double. That's a 15. So that's going to be a single, but it's a 2-star single, and Wiggins will fly around the base paths and score. And just like that, the Orioles take a 1-0 lead. And with this pitching matchup, you may need 8 or 9 runs to win this game. Neither pitcher is exactly top notch. All right, here is Cal Ripken. Dwyer's not going to be held at first base. Here's Cal Ripken. Hello, Kevin. Cal Ripken's hitting .262 on the replay. 7 homers, 28 driven in. He at .252 real world. That's a 1. Wild pitch rating on Hudson is a 6. No 6, so it's blocked by Salas. So Ripken will stand back in with a ball 1 count. 4-10, and that is a line out right to the first baseman, Gary Ward. Ripken smoked it, trying to go the other way, but it should be a L3, not a L4. I don't know why I put L4 there. That didn't make any sense. Thank goodness for correction tape is all I can say. And on the Strat computer, thank goodness for the undo button. 2 things that have really improved my experience. All right, so 1 away, and here's Eddie Murray, cleanup hitter. Eddie Murray on the replay is hitting .305, 13 homers, 36 driven in. He at .277 on the real season. Eddie Murray. 4-6, switch hitter batting left. That's a base on balls. That'll put runners at first and second. Still only 1 out. And that'll bring up Fred Lynn, center fielder. Hello, Joel. Fred Lynn on the somehow I don't feel like I've gotten this over far enough to show the dice tray. So let me make sure that we're fitting that dice tray in here. Move it back a little bit. I feel like I was missing some of the dice tray there and possibly missing some of the top of the score sheet. So let me see if I can fix this. Had this set up for Fall Classic, and now I've got a different, apparently it's a little bit different setup when I do Strat as far as trying to capture everything. So I'm going to try to put it where I think it needs to be, but trying to get it to sit in one space is kind of not the easiest thing in the world, but I'm going to try. But I do want to have it where you can see the bullpen, the bench is there anyway. Boy, I had it for a second, and now just, let's see, well, take it just a little bit to the left, and I can get the dice tray in there. That should be good, hopefully. All right. Trying to get everything in here. I think, oh, I almost had it. Almost. Almost doesn't count. And now here, good thing of circles in the sand. I thought we were going to experience that for a second. Now I've got it tilted. Boy, I just messed this whole thing up trying to fix this. Should have just left it alone, I guess. That's what I should have done, but didn't do it. Boy, now it's really getting weird on me. Hold on. I'll try to get this straight without making everybody dizzy. See if I can get this done. Let me put it up on my computer so I can see it better, what you guys are seeing. Okay. Stay there. If I can get it to lock in here, I'll be all right. I think. If I can lock this sucker down. Still having it turn all over the place. Hope it's not making anybody sick out there. I don't want to make anybody sick, but I do want to get it. Okay. I think I'll leave it there. I think I don't want to touch it any further because I'm afraid if I touch it any further, it's going to get worse. So I'll leave it at that, and hopefully that's what we have here. All right. So Fred Lynn is your batter. And we get to Fred Lynn's numbers on the replay. 217 average on the replay. 16 homers, 35 driven in. He at 253 real world. So been struggling just a tad. 2-4 for Lynn. That's a ballpark single check. It's a 1-7. That's a 16. Normally, I would like to keep the original result, but that's going to affect base running. So I will go ahead and call it a line out to second. I don't usually like to do that because there's so many line outs. If it doesn't affect base running, I'll keep the original roll, but this would change the base runner, so I'm not going to do that. Just going to line out to second for out number 2, and that brings up Ray Knight. Third baseman, Ray Knight, hitting now 248, 9 homers, 29 driven in. He had 256 in the real season. Hello, P. Fallon. Good to see you. I enjoy reading a lot of Bill. I got a lot of Bill James baseball abstract books from the late 80s. I really enjoyed reading those. Has some interesting insights. And I think he was like the precursor to Moneyball, or led into Moneyball, I guess. Here's Knight, 2-5. That's ground ball to third. That'll do it. Third baseman Pagliarulo makes the play, but the Orioles get a run. They do it on 2 hits, no errors, and 2 left. We go to the bottom of the first. Baltimore 1, New York Yankees coming to bat against right-hander Ken Dixon. Ken Dixon. I don't know if there's ever going to be a matchup between Baltimore and Texas where the starting pitchers are Mike Mason and Ken Dixon. Then we could have the Mason-Dixon game, but I doubt that ever came to fruition in real world. So we go to the numbers on Mr. Dixon. On the real season, he was 7-10, 643 earned run average. On the replay, he's 2-2 with a 4.91 earned run average. So he's doing a little bit better than he did real world. That's a good question. I have no idea what the line might be, but your betting line would be either above or below either north or south of the Mason-Dixon line, one or the other. All right, here's Willie Randolph. He's hitting 266 on the replay, 3 homers, 27 driven in. He at 305 real world. 1-2, and that's a base on balls. Boy, that's not what you want to do if you're Dixon. Your team gives you a 1-0 lead, and you're going to start walking guys. Randolph could get a lead with a 3. Dixon is a 0 on his hold, so it's not going to change anything. He needs a 3 to get the good lead. Doesn't get it, so he's going to hold. And here's first baseman Gary Ward. Hello, Dr. D. Gary Ward hitting 211 on the replay, 7 homers, 28 driven in. He had 248 real world. That's a 2-8, and that is a 1-2 double. That's a 4, so it's a single 2 stars. And the Yankees are in business. They have runners on the corners with nobody out. And Ken Dixon in trouble. Like I said, it might take 8 or 9 runs to win this game. I'm expecting a high-scoring affair here. Here's Mike Easler. He is the designated hitter in this game. Easler, recently acquired from the Phillies, so he's only had 14 at-bats. He's hitting 286, so he's 2 for 14. No homers, 2 driven in. He hit 281 real world. Infield for the Orioles is playing back for the double play. They need outs. 5-3. That's a fly ball left field X. That's trouble. Sheets is a 4. E8. So the 4, this ball could drop in very easily. 4-11. It's iffy. He might get to it. He might not. Let's see here. 4-11. Nope, that's a single. A 12, he'd have gotten to it, but 11 is a single 2 stars. That's a 14, and he is an E8. There is a 15, 16, 17, and 18, but no 14. So it won't be an error, but it will be a single 2 stars for Mike Easler, and we got a tie ball game, and the Yankees still have runners on the corners with nobody out. Randolph scores. Ward goes to third. Tied at 1, and here comes Mr. May, Dave Winfield. Winfield on the replay is hitting 258, 12 homers, 35 driven in. He at 275 real world. Infield again looking for that double play. They need outs. They haven't got anybody out yet. 5-9. That's a strikeout. That's a big strikeout there for Ken Dixon. That'll help the cause. Now a double play would get him out of the inning. Due up now is left fielder Dan Pasqua. Pasqua on the replay hitting 230, 11 homers, 23 driven in. He at 233 real world. Looking for that double play to get out of the inning. 4-11. Might get it. Ground ball first base X. They were not holding Easler on. So Murray will keep his 2E10. So it's a chance of a double play right here. 2E10. But the double dies a 4. That's going to take away the double play chance for sure. Now Murray just has to make sure he gets to it, and he does. It's a G3 pound. Had he been holding the runner, that would have gotten through for a base hit, but he was not holding the runner. So the G3 is good. That's a 13, and Murray is an E10. There's no 13 here, but it is a G3, so that means runners advance. Only play for Murray is to flip it to Dixon covering. RBI ground out as Gary Ward will score, and Easler will take second base. So RBI ground out for Dan Pasqua, his 24th run batted in of the season. And it's now 2-1 Yankees for Mike Pagliarulo in a clutch situation. In the clutch for Pags, he gains a hit on 1-6. That's it. Look at that loaded column 3. He's ready for Bear. That's a 2. Balk or pass ball possibility. We're looking at a pass ball on Kennedy, which is only a 2. So no pass ball. And so Pagliarulo will swing it away. Pags on the replay hitting 235. 17 homers, 36 driven in. He at 234 real world. 6-10, and that's a ground ball to third base X. Ray Knight, 4E23 for Ray Knight. 4 and a 10. Probably will get to it. 4 and a 10. 4 and a 10 is a G3 pound, but he's not holding anybody on, so he will get to it. That's a 15, and he is an E23. E23, there's a 15 here for a 2-base error on Ray Knight, and so the shoddy fielding of the Orioles comes into play. That's going to cause a third run to score, unearned, by the way. 2-base error on Ray Knight. And the inning continues. It's now 3-1 Yankees. Ken Dixon needs all the help he can get. He doesn't need them giving away free runs. Here's Mark Salas, a recent acquisition from the Twins. Combined with the Twins and the Yankees, he's hitting 157, 2 homers, 8 driven in. He hit 250 real world. 6-11, ground ball shortstop X. That's Cal Ripken. Maybe he can make a play. 2E20. 2 and a 10, he'll get to it. Now checking for an error. E20, and that's a 15. E20 is a 15 right there on Cal Ripken. So now even he's booted the ball. So the yips has passed along throughout the whole Oriole infield, it seems. Ray Knight's now affecting what Ripken's doing. A 20 and a 15 is a 1-base error. That's going to put runners on the corners. 2 errors back to back. And now that's going to bring up Henry Cotto. Cotto on the replay hitting 179, 1 homer, 4 driven in. He hit 235 real world. 1-5, and that's a ground ball to short. This time there's no X chance, so Ripken will make the play. But the Yankees put 3 on the board. 2 of them are earned, 1 is not. But they all count the same in the scorebook when you tally up the runs at the end of the day. So we played 1. We played 1 here in Yankee Stadium. And the Yankees have a 3-1 lead. And they turn that 3-1 lead back over to Charles Hudson, saying, you better hold it this time. Do it for the Orioles. It'll be Kennedy, Sheets, and Young. Not a folk rock band, but it is a lineup. Unlike Crosby, Stills, and Nash and Young. Here's Kennedy. He's hitting 237, 13 homers, 31 driven in on the replay. Hit 250 real world. 6-8, and that's a strikeout for Charlie Hudson, his first. 1 away, and that brings up Larry Sheets. Sheets hitting 294, 10 homers, 22 driven in. He hit 316 real world. 310 for Sheets is a fly ball to center field, hauled in by Cotto. 2 up, 2 down, so maybe Mr. Hudson is settling in. Number 9 hitter is the DH, Mike Young. He's hitting 239 on the replay, 5 homers, 16 driven in. He hit 240 real world. 3-9, and that's a base hit. Single to left field for Mike Young, 2-out single. He needs a 6, 7, or 8 to get the lead. 11, he gets picked off. He does not get the lead. He will hold. And here's Alan Wiggins. 1-5 for Wiggins. He lines it right to Gary Ward. And that will end the inning. So nothing doing for the Orioles in the second. We go to the bottom of the second, 3-1 Yanks. And Ken Dixon's going to have to see what he can do. Both pitchers only have fatigue of 5, so I imagine the bullpens will both figure prominently in this game. Wayne Tolleson, number 9 hitter for the Yankees. Tolleson is hitting .219 on the replay, 2 homers, 15 driven in. He at .221 real world. 3-4, and that's a line out to short. Ripken is right there. 1 away. That brings up Willie Randolph. Randolph walked and scored his first chance. 1-7, and he will ground it to Ripken. So Ripken takes care of both outs to start the second. Ken Dixon on a much better start. Brings up first baseman Gary Ward. 110 for Ward, and he'll fly to left, so it's a 1-2-3 inning for Dixon. So maybe just took the first inning to get both pitchers to settle in. But 1-2-3 inning for Dixon is much needed. Go to the third, still 3-1 Yankees. Do it for the Orioles. It'll be Dwyer, Ripken, and Murray. Dwyer, Ripken, and Murray. We get a 2-8, and that's going to be a strikeout. That is strikeout number 2 for Hudson. 1 away for Cal Ripken. 5-9. I'm starting to lose some of this dice trace. I better bring it over a little bit further. All right, so a 5-9 is a fly ball to left field. And Mr. Pascal puts that away. 2 down for Eddie Murray. Murray walked his first chance. 6-7, switch hitter batting left-handed. That's a ground ball second. I'm sorry, it's 5-7. 6-7, ground ball shortstop X. We're looking at Tolleson. 3E22 for Tolleson. 3-1. Devil Die shows up again. That's a base hit. 9, and he's an E22 at short. There is no 9 there, but it will be a base hit. 2-out single for Murray, courtesy of the Devil Die being a 1. Hello, RN or RNI. I'm not sure best way to address you. Let's see here. So we got a strike out there, a fly to the left here, and a single for Murray. And that'll bring up Fred Lynn. Murray, of course, not going to be held on first base. He's not much of a threat to run. Is Freddie Lynn. 2-7 for Lynn. That's a strikeout. Boy, 280. He missed a home. Would have been a home run. 2-7 is just going to be a strikeout, though. And that'll end the inning. We go to the bottom of the third. Still 3-1 Yankees. And due up for the Yankees in the bottom of the third will be Easler, Winfield, and Pasqua, the heart of the order, against Ken Dixon. Easler, his first time up, had an RBI single. Not an RBI. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was an RBI single. No, it wasn't. He took him to third. It was a single that took him to third. He scored a run, but he did not get an RBI. 5-7, and that is a ground ball second base X. We're looking at Wiggins, 4E15. 4-3. That's going to get through for a base hit. Checking for the error. 13. He's an E15. There is no 13, but it's going to be a base hit for Mike Easler. He's 2 for 2 as Wiggins was unable to range to get it. That'll bring up Winfield. He struck out his first chance. 5-3, and that's a fly ball left field X. That's trouble again. Larry Sheets is a 4. 4-18, though. This time he'll get to it. 7, and Easler. I'm sorry, not Easler. Sheets is an E8. E8, there is no 7 there, so he does make the play. Does Mr. Sheets. 1 away. And that will send up Danny Pasqua. I don't blame you, R9. I used to play golf quite a bit, but it kind of got expensive for me, so I decided not to do it. Because if I don't play golf a lot, I play horrible, and I don't want to go out and play horrible once in a while. But yeah, it's going to be the 70s here too. In fact, tomorrow and Wednesday are supposed to be record heat days in the low 80s. So definitely good to take advantage of that. And also take advantage of the extra hour of daylight. That is also a benefit. Here's Dan Pasqua. Six, 7, and that is a 1-6 single, but that's a 19, so he's going to line it to second. Wiggins is able to snag that one, 2 down. Couldn't really take advantage yesterday of the extra daylight because around here it was overcast, threatening rain, so couldn't really get a benefit of how long the daylight was going to last because it was definitely dark by 7 o'clock because of so many clouds. Here's Pags. Reached on a 2-base error by Knight his first trip. 5-3 is a fly ball left. Boy, they're giving Larry Sheets a workout over there. Another chance for Larry Sheets. 4-13. I think he's going to be up to the task, hopefully for him. 4-13. Yep, it's an F1, but it's the third out of the inning if he doesn't make an error, so we don't have to worry about runner advancement. That's a 4, and he is an E8 in left field. There's a 3, but no 4, so Sheets will make the play to end the inning. Wasn't pretty, but he got it done. And we completed 3 innings of work here at Yankee Stadium with the score 3-1. Favor the Pinstripers. Top of the 4th we go. It'll be Knight, Kennedy, and Sheets. (3-9). And that is a single 1-18. That's a base hit for Mr. Knight. He, of course, is one of the slower runners in the league, so he will not be held. And here is Terry Kennedy. Knight didn't even have an attempted steal, so his card, he's got nothing. You can't even attempt to steal with him. 2-5, and that's a ground ball, second base A, and that turns into the very first Giovanni's Tailor Shop tailor-made double play of the week. And we got it right here. 2-5 is a ground ball, second base A. That is a 4-6-3 double play. Giovanni's Tailor Shop sponsoring the tailor-made double play of the game. Giovanni's Tailor Shop in Lemoyne, Pennsylvania. Unofficial sponsor of the channel, but official sponsor of the tailor-made double play of the game. And so if you're in Lemoyne, Pennsylvania, check them out. Maybe we'll mention the channel. They might give you a discount. Here's Larry Sheets. 6-7, and that is a ground ball shortstop X. And that is Tollison. 3E22 for Tollison. 3 and an 8. That's going to be close, but I think he'll get to it. 3 and an 8 is a G3 pound, but nobody on base, so it doesn't matter. That's a 15. That could matter. 15, and we are looking. 15, and we are looking at, I'm trying to remember who the play was on now. Oh, Tollison, I believe. 22, and that's an E15, second base. No 15, 12, 17, and 18, so Tollison will make the play, and that will end the inning. So we'll go to the bottom of the 4th, still 3-1. That first inning has been all the scoring so far. Both pitchers seem to have settled in. And here comes Ken Dixon. Dixon has retired 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 7 of the last 8 he faced, he has retired. And really, it would be, without these errors, he'd retire everybody except for the first 3 batters because these errors aren't his fault. So you can definitely say he's settled in. 5-4, and that's a fly to left field. This time an easier play for Mr. Sheets, but they sure are giving him a test out there with all those hits out in his direction. Here's Henry Cotto. That's a 211 for Cotto. That's a ballpark blast, and that's a 3, and that's gone. Henry Cotto. Look at it again. 211 is a ballpark blast. 1-8 for right-handers. He has normal power against righties, and that's a 3. So that is gone. Henry Cotto, a solo home run. As soon as I say something about Ken Dixon retiring all these guys, and now Cotto greets him with the home run. That is only the second home run of the replay for Cotto. He only had 5 real world. That's home run number 2, RBI number 5, in at bat number 41. And 149 at bats, he had 5 home runs. So he's probably about as good a pace as you can ask for. So home run for Cotto, 4-1 Yankees. Brings up Wayne Tollison. 6'9", switch hitter, is a base on balls. So walk number 2 for Dixon. That's his first walk since he walked Randolph to start the game. So Tollison is aboard. He will not try to run or try to steal or anything like that. So here's Willie Randolph. He won't be held. 2-2 for Randolph. He's hit by the pitch. So Ken Dixon, all of a sudden, after the home run, is starting to lose his perspective on the strike zone as he walks a batter, now hits a batter. Puts runners at first and second with 1 out for Gary Ward. Now Dixon could use one of those tailor-made double plays to get out of the inning. 3-8, and he just got it right on cue. Right on cue, another Giovanni's Tailor Shop tailor-made double play. This one's going to be a 6-4-3 variety on the 3-8. Ground ball shortstop A. We got a 6-4-3 double play. Giovanni's Tailor Shop sponsoring once again the tailor-made double play of the game. Of course, this is the second tailor-made double play of the game, so I guess you can sponsor 2. Might be more, you never know. Yankees get 1, but that's it on the home run by Cotto, and they lead it 4-1 as we start the 5th inning. And this is the fatigue inning for both starting pitchers, so we'll keep an eye on that. For the Orioles, it'll be Mike Young in the number 9 position, then back to the top of the order. Young singled his first chance. 4-4, switch hitter batting left. That's a fly ball to Winfield. And that's 1 away. Flips the order over to Alan Wiggins. Wiggins is 1 for 2 with a stolen base and scored the only run. 1-9, and that's going to be a base on balls. So Wiggins with the walk. And he's had such a good, successful rating on stealing bases. Even though they're down 4-1, they got to generate some offense. Their offense has been very stagnant. So they're going to try to get some running going and see if they can perk up the offense. 4, 5, or 6. Doesn't get it, he'll have to hold. So he couldn't get the lead to perk the offense. So that'll bring up Jim Dwyer. 6-10, and that's a fly ball center field X. We're looking at Cotto. 2-4 for Henry Cotto. And that's a 4. 2 and a 4. That might drop. 2 and a 4. No, it's an F1, so that means the runner's going to advance on the tag up. It's so deep, he's going to tag up from first base. That's how deep it is with that F1. That is a 12, and he is an E4. There is no 12 there, but the F1 means that Wiggins will tag and go to second base on the fly to center field. It's that deep with the F1. So Wiggins is at second base with 2 outs. It's now a clutch situation for Cal Ripken. Ripken in the clutch will gain some hits here. 3-3, 2-10. Those are the 2 hits he gained. So by going to second base, it gives Ripken 2 extra chances to get a hit. If he can find those clutch ratings. 5-9, he did not. He flies to left field, and Pascal puts it away. And so Hudson will maintain almost full endurance into the 6th inning. Now Dixon in the same boat. This is his fatigue inning. He'll face Easler, Winfield, and Pasqua. 5-8, and that's a strikeout for Ken Dixon. That's strikeout number 2. I've got him striking out Winfield and now striking out Easler. Only the 2nd strikeout. For Mr. Winfield, who was 0 for 2. 5-9, and he's going to strike out again. There's a dot there, but he hasn't reached that fatigue just yet. So 2 up, 2 down for Dan Pasqua. He's also 0 for 2. 5-4, and that is a fly ball to left where Sheets will put it away. So Ken Dixon keeps full endurance into the 6th inning. And we get more spam calls coming in. Very lovely. Just what I needed. Good thing I don't record on the phone like I used to, or that would have interrupted the, it would have caused a problem with the streaming. I don't know about anybody else, but I seem to get a lot of advertising and spam calls coming in. Either that or just numbers I don't know, so it's got to be a sales thing. If I don't know the number, I don't answer it. So here is Eddie Murray. I figured it's that important to leave a message. Murray is 1 for 1, a single and a walk. 4-9, switch to batting left. He's going to ground it to second. Willie Randolph will take care of that with no issues. 1 away. For Freddie Lynn. Lynn 0 for 2 with a strikeout. 3-11, and that's a ballpark blast for Freddie Lynn. It's a 1-9, but that's a 17, so just a deep fly to right. So Lynn did not catch a break on the D20. He will just hit a deep fly to the warning track where Winfield will haul it in. 2 down for Ray Knight. That is a 6-10. That's ground ball third base X. We are looking at Pagliarulo. He's a 2E20. And that is a 2-19. He'll get to that. That's a 12. 12 and an E20 at third base. There's an 11, 14, and 15, but no 12. So Pags will make the play, and Hudson keeps his endurance into the 7th. Which will help the Yankees out because their bullpen has been kind of taxed here lately, particularly Rigetti. So they like to be able to, if they can get 7 innings out of Hudson, they'll probably be delighted. So that will send up Mike Pagliarulo, followed by Salas and Cotto. Pags is 0 for 2. 1-4, and it draws a base on balls. And that is, I believe, if I'm looking at this correctly, the 3rd walk issued by Dixon. Now the Oriole bullpen is starting to loosen. We do have some activity in their bullpen. So let's see who's the most rested down there. It appears, if I can find this card. They're going to loosen up John Habian down there. He's a starter / reliever, but he's not scheduled to start for a couple of days at least. It's not indicated on the Strat computer it's going to start anytime soon. So he could give him some length out of the bullpen if need be. Right now, it's Mark Salas. Salas 0 for 2 as well. 2-7 for Salas. That's a ground ball second base. Hey, that's a third Giovanni's Taylor shot. Tailor-made double play of the game. Plus sign's not relevant because the infield's not in. So 4-6-3 double play. Pitcher's best friend for sure. Might allow Dixon to finish the inning. Here's Henry Cotto. Quickly 2 outs, base is empty. 5-9. That's a strikeout. There's a dot there, but he has not reached fatigue. So the strikeout is good by Dixon, and he'll start to go into the 7th inning, it would appear. So they may not need Habian after all. So we go to the top of the 7th, still a 4-1 ball game. We got another one coming in. Why do they keep doing this to me? I don't need these calls to be coming in all the time. Very annoying. All right, so we are going to the top of the 7th. It'll be Kennedy, Sheets, and Young. Kennedy, Sheets, and Young due up here in this top of the 7th. Somehow this thing got crooked on me. I don't know how that managed to do that. See if we can fix that a little bit. There we go. I think that's better. All right. Here is Terry Kennedy. He's 0 for 2. 5-7, and that's a ground ball second base X. We're looking at Randolph, and Randolph is a 2E17. 2 to 12. You'll get to that. That is a 12 there. He's an E17 at second base and a 12. Nope, no 12 there. So Randolph will make the play. And there's one down for Larry Sheets. He's 0 for 2. That's a 5-5, and it's not 0 for 2 anymore. 1 to 3 is a triple. That's a 6, so he'll settle for a base hit. Larry Sheets with a 1-out single. He's no threat to run whatsoever. So here's Mike Young. For 9, switch hitter batting left. That's a ground ball second base C. That'll get the runner to second base, but now there are 2 away. And the Orioles, we're in the 7th inning now, so pinch hitting becomes available for the Orioles. So we'll go to their bench and see if they got anybody better than Alan Wiggins that they might want to have come up and try to get a base hit. Their best guy probably is Lee Lacy. I think he's got the best average. Rene Gonzalez has a 267 average. That's not bad either. Lacy is 244. They're going to actually pinch hit with Rene Gonzalez. And he'll stay in the game to play second base where he's a much better defender. So we will have Gonzalez at second base. So Gonzalez will pinch hit here in the 7th, play second base in the 7th. So Rene Gonzalez, on the actual season, he had 60 at bats and he had 267 with a homer. It is a clutch situation for Gonzalez, and he actually gains a hit on a 111 as far as the clutch goes. So we'll bring in Gonzalez on the computer and see what he's done on the replay compared to his actual stats. So Mr. Rene Gonzalez makes his way on. And on the replay, Gonzalez is hitting 306 in 36 at bats. No homers, 3 driven in. But it is a clutch situation. Hudson trying to make it through 7 innings. That's a 2-8, and that's a strikeout. So he strikes out Gonzalez to end the inning. And that's strikeout number 4, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I'm right here on the crack of the table. That's why that K is looking kind of funny, because I'm right where the crack is on this, where the table folds. So that's going to do it. And, of course, Gonzalez will stay in the game to play second base. So that's going to take care of business there. Go to the bottom of the 7th inning stretch time, but I had been taking breaks in the past on the 7th inning stretch, but I kind of like to lately here just to keep it rolling. Now we'll go to, I believe, they're going to go to the bullpen for Ken Dixon. Check the numbers on Dixon again just to check him. Yeah, we're going to go with, let's see, we're starting at the bottom of the 7th. They may want to go to somebody different than Habian, because Habian's a long reliever, and they just really need a guy to pitch 1 or 2 innings tops. So they may go to Mark Williamson here. Yep, Mark Williamson will get the call. Right-hander. Mark Williamson will be coming on for Dixon. Williamson's a +2 on the hold. Go to the Strat computer and get the final totals on Mr. Dixon and see what he has done. And I think we'll get the final totals on Hudson, too. I think they're going to cap Hudson at 7 innings as well. Hudson's going to go 7 innings, give up 6 hits and a run, 2 walks and 4 strikeouts. And Dixon's going to go 6 innings, give up 4 hits, 4 runs, 3 of which were earned because that E5 brought home 1 run, 3 walks and 4 strikeouts. So Mark Williamson will be on to face Tollison, Randolph, and Ward. Get the numbers on Williamson real world. He was 8-9 with a 4.03 earned run average in the real season. On the replay, and he had 3 saves real world. Replay, he's 3-3 with a 3.38 ERA and 4 saves. So he's done a little bit better in the replay. Williamson will be facing switch hitter Tollison, then 2 righties, Randolph and Ward. So Williamson, hello Jeremiah. Williamson facing Tollison, 6'9", and that's a ground ball to the new second baseman. I'll tell you, bring a new player in to play the defensive field position, and it seems like very early on the ball is hit to him, and there it is right there. Gonzalez just came in at second base, first at bat, ground ball to second. Of course, Gonzalez was able to make that play, no problem. We go to the top of the order for Willie Randolph, and Randolph is 0 for 1. He's walked and been hit by a pitch. He's also grounded to short. That's a 4-5, and that's a line out to third baseman Ray Knight. So we hit it hard, but right to Mr. Knight. 2 down for Gary Ward, first baseman. He's 1 for 3. Does have a run batted in and a run scored. 6-8, and that's a base on balls by Williamson. Keeps the inning going. Ward really no threat to run. Actually, if he can get the lead, he might. So let's see. He's got an 18 there, so he's going to try for the lead. Needs a 4. Doesn't get it, so he'll hold. That was a nice thought. And Mike Easler, your batter. DH, 2 for 3 is Mr. Easler. 6-9, and that's another ground ball to second, and that will end the inning. So what I thought was going to be a slugfest has all of a sudden turned into a relatively decently pitched game. It's 4-1, and now the Yankees will go to their bullpen, and we'll see who they have that's the most rested. Coming up for the Orioles, it would be Dwyer, Ripken, and Murray, so left, right, and switch. But then another lefty behind him and Fred Lynn, so they might go to Pat Clements here. I'm thinking that's where they're going to go, assuming he's not tired. No, Pat Clements has pretty good energy. He hasn't been overused at all. So they will go to the left-hander Pat Clements. For the Yankees, he was 3-3 with a 4.95 ERA and 7 saves in the real season. Replay, he's 0-3 with a 4.80 ERA and 3 saves. Jim Dwyer is your scheduled hitter for the Orioles, but as you can see, let's see, hopefully you can see it. He only faced, that glare is a little bit trouble to see. He only faced 5% lefties. So they will go to the bench with the Orioles. So this will precipitate a move by them. And they're going to bring in Lee Lacy. So Lee Lacy will pinch hit and stay in the game to play right field. Lee Lacy. So we'll get the numbers on Lacy on the replay and go along with his real world numbers. Dwyer ended the game 1 for 3 with a run batted in. But that was in the first inning. Everything else, he was 0 for 3 after that. It was a 1 for 1 to start, but that was it. So Lee Lacy is on. In the real season, Lee Lacy, look at his numbers, 244 hitter and 258 at bats with 7 home runs. On the replay, he is hitting 276 and 116 at bats, 4 homers and 13 driven in. So Lee Lacy is going to lead things off against Pat Clements, and we'll get Clements' hold rating. Clements is a -3, so that, not that the Orioles are going to run much, but if they do, Clements will be ready for him. Here's Lacey. 1-6 by Lacey. He's going to fly it to center. And there's one away. Lacey out of there. And here's Cal Ripken. He's 0 for 3. 3-9. He's going to be 0 for 4 on the fly to center. So 2 fly balls to Cotto. I can't make my 8 very straight there, can I? Terrible looking 8, but that's all right. You know what it is. So there's 2 down for Eddie Murray. Murray 1 for 3. 1 for 2, actually, with a walk. 5-7. This time turn around and bet right-handed. And that's a 4-7. 5-7's a walk. So Clements will walk Murray. And that'll send up Fred Lynn, another lefty-on-lefty matchup. But Lynn holds his own against lefties. So they will leave him in there to hit. 2-9. And he held his own right there very well, a double to right field. Problem is, do you try to score Murray because Winfield is a -4 arm out there? Look at the numbers. Murray is a 12. Not being held at first makes him a 13. The fact that there are 2 outs makes him a 15. But then the -4 makes him an 11. So it's a 55% chance to score. Or you can hope that Ray Knight, hold him and hope that Ray Knight can get a single. Ray Knight does not have a 55% chance of bringing him home. So the best option by definition is to send Murray to the plate. So look at the numbers again, because there's no way Ray Knight has a 55% chance of bringing him home from third base. So let's see here. Murray, again, a 12. Not being held as a 13. 2 outs at the 15. -4 is an 11. So 1 to 11, and Murray will score. And he's thrown out. With 20, everybody would have been thrown out. So that's going to be a great play for Winfield. Actually, we're going to call it 9-4-2 as they get the relay and throw Murray out to end the inning. Some people say you maybe should have held him, but like I said, Ray Knight would have to have he doesn't have a 55% chance of bringing home the run. So kind of take the chance when you can get it. Like that old Steve Winwood song, when you see a chance, take it. So that's what we did, but it just happened to not work out. If he'd rolled a 10, it would have been, perfect. So, but that's just the way it goes. You tip your cap to the good play by Winfield. That's all you can do. So we go to the bottom of the 8th. Lacey will stay in the game to play right field. Had there been less than 2 outs, I definitely would have held him, obviously. But with there being 2 outs, I felt like that was the best chance they had to score. So if you want to second guess, feel free. I thought it was a toss-up decision. But all right, here's Winfield. Makes a nice throw, and now he leads off the next inning. Of course, he has done nothing at the plate. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. 4-9, that's a pop out to short. One away. Of course, if you don't send the runner and then Ray Knight makes an out, you could say, hey, you should have sent the runner. So it's kind of a no-win situation if you get a bad D20 roll. Here's Pasqua. 1-8 for Pasqua, struck him out. 2 down, and that's going to send up Mike Pagliarulo. 4-12, lefty, and that's a ground ball back to Williamson to end the inning. So we're going to the top of the 9th, still 4-1 game, and Mr. Clements is going to stay out there and try to earn the save. He had 7 of them real world. So it's not like he's out of his element. And plus, Righetti has A, been overworked, and B, has not been effective lately, probably because of the overwork. So they're going to stick with Clements, see if he can get his 4th save of the season. He's going to be facing Knight, Kennedy, and Sheets. On the bench for the Orioles, Ken Gerhardt's a decent right-handed hitter. But after that, you've only got Dave Van Gorder, a .238 hitter. And you got Rick Burleson, a .209 hitter. So you're probably looking at Gerhardt as the only possible pinch hitter here. And I'm not even sure if you'd rather pinch hit him for Sheets or not, because Sheets is a pretty good hitter. I mean, I guess they could do it, play percentages. We'll see how it plays out. So Ray Knight, though, will lead off. And I don't know if they would consider pinch hitting for Ray Knight or not. Knight is 1 for 3. I think we'll leave him in there. He is a righty. So we'll leave him in there. They could pinch hit for Kennedy, though. Kennedy's only a .250 hitter. as a lefty, so you might do better off to bring in a righty there. So let's see what happens. Ray Knight, 1-8 for Knight, and he's going to have a 1-8 home run. That's a 16, though, a bad break. And that is a fly to left field, deep fly to the left. Dan Pasqua on the warning track makes the play. And for the heck of it, the Orioles are going to go to the bench. Kennedy's 0 for 3, so they're going to bring in Ken Gerhart to pinch hit for Kennedy. And if it somehow goes to the bottom of the ninth, they do have Dave Van Gorder to catch. But right now, they're going for Ken Gerhart off the bench to pinch hit for Kennedy, who is 0 for 3 in the game. And that was against a right-hander. So now he's got a left-hander coming up. Cal Ripken Sr. says, let's get a right-hander hitter in there. So Ken Gerhart on the real season in 284 bats hit 243 with 14 home runs. On the replay, he is hitting 222 and 135 at bats with 8 home runs. It's a 6-6 against Clemens, and that's a 1-15 double. That's a 19, so it's a base hit. And against a lefty, had we left Kennedy in there and got the same role, it would have been an out. So at least to get a base hit here by taking advantage of the platoon situation. So Gerhart reaches on the pinch hit. That's going to bring up Larry Sheets. If Sheets can reach the tying run, Mike Young would come to the plate. No action in the Yankee bullpen. This is Pat Clemens' game to save. That's a leaner, but it's close enough where it's just about a 1, so we'll keep it. 3-5, lefty, lefty. That's a single to left field. Let's put runners at first and second with 1 out, and here comes Mike Young. And now Yankees bullpen is starting to stir a bit. Tim Stoddard, a right-hander, is loosening their bullpen. But they're going to try to give Clemens every opportunity to get out of this thing and get the save. Here's Young. 6-6. Switch hitter batting right. We're back in that same boat right here. 4 is a double, 2-star double. So that might be it for Clemens here. Scoring on the play is Gerhart. Going to third is Sheets. Still only 1 out, and it's now a 4-2 game with the tying runs in scoring position. Pat Clemens is showing tired on the computer. So the Yankees will go to Tim Stoddard out of the bullpen. Actually, no, they're going to go with Righetti. They're going to take their chances with Righetti, even though he hasn't been pitching well. He is their closer, so it just makes sense to go to Righetti, I guess. They're going to go to Righetti until he proves otherwise. So Clemens couldn't get it done. They will bring on Rags to try to clean things up and get out of the ball game. Clemens is going to go an inning and a third. He's going to give up 4 hits. So far, 1 run, but both of these are his responsibility, a walk and no strikeouts. So he didn't have a very good outing there. -5 for Righetti. And Rene Gonzalez is your batter. He will be the one facing Righetti. So we get the numbers on Righetti on the real season versus replay. Righetti 8-6, a 3.51 ERA and 31 saves on the real season. In the replay, he is 3-2 with a 3.83 ERA and 14 saves. So trying to notch save number 15 is Dave Righetti. Second and third, 1 out. They will play back because the 1 run doesn't hurt them. It's the second run. They don't want that. They don't want Mike Young scoring from second base. So they will play back. Try to knock anything down they can. That's a 1. Righetti might toss a wild pitch. Have to go to the computer for his wild pitch rating, which is only a 2. He's got a 12 balk and a 2 wild pitch. So no wild pitch by Righetti, as Mark Salas was able to block that. That's a 2-7 against the lefty. That's a 1 for a single, and he also lines to short. So Gonzalez lines it right to Tollison, and that's out number 2. And now it's all going to be up to Lee Lacy. Last chance for the Orioles. He flew to center when he pinch hit for Dwyer the previous inning. So it's all up to Lacy now in a clutch situation. In the clutch, Lacy will gain 2 hits right here on 110 and 210. So Righetti's got to be careful of that. That's a 3-9, and that's a pop up to third, and there's your ball game. Dave Righetti comes in and saves the day for the Yankees, gets them out of the jam. Orioles get a run, but that's it. Yankees win. Yankees win. The Yankees win. I can't do it like John Sterling, nor do I want to. Just thought I would do it just for the heck of it. So there's your ball game. Yankees finally get back on track after losing several in a row. They finally get one in the win column on the left side of the column there. And, of course, the pitiful Orioles continue to lose. So the Yankees improved to 37-27 now. It was 4 runs, just 4 hits, and no errors for the Yankees. Orioles, 2 runs, 10 hits, and 2 errors. Orioles left 9 on base. The Yankees only left 4. So between the errors and the left on bases, I think that's what really hurt the Orioles there. Hudson gets the win. He's now 6-3. Righetti gets his 15th save. I don't really count holds, but they gave Clemens his 4th hold. Ken Dixon takes the loss. He drops to 2-3. Williamson went 2 innings. Didn't give up anything but a walk and a strikeout. So there you go. That is game number 430. Orioles defeat the Yankees by the score of 4-2. And if you give a player the game, I'm not sure who that would be right now. Probably Easler, because he was 2 for 4. Nobody else had 2 hits for the Yankees, so I'm thinking Easler here. I mean, Cotto only went 1 for 3. So it's kind of hard to give to anybody because there wasn't a whole lot of great activity going on. Maybe Hudson, he went 7 innings and gave up 1 run. So I guess we'll give it to Charlie Hudson. By default, lack of anybody else, we'll give the player of the game to Charles Hudson as he gets his 6th win and goes to 6-3. The real season, he was 11-7. So right now he's 6-3. His real ERA is 3.61. His current ERA after this game is 3.22. So Charles Hudson is your player of the game. As we look ahead to tomorrow for game number 431, second game on the June 16th docket, we will be north of the border in Toronto, and it will be the Detroit Tigers taking on the Toronto Blue Jays. Nice team matchup. Pitching matchup leaves something to be desired. Jeff Robinson against Joe Johnson. But that's what we got. 33-27 Detroit against 41-20 Toronto. That will be tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. So hope you enjoyed that presentation of Strat-O-Matic 1987. Hope you're having a great Monday, whatever you have on your agenda. And until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.